Hi everyone, and welcome to Words with DatOneLady.
Let's get it started in here.
Hi guys, and welcome to today's episode of the podcast. I have a new guest with me today, and God knows we don't even know what we want to talk about, but this is going to be very interesting. Or we do, kinda. All right, before I go ahead about myself, can you introduce yourself, guest?
How do I do this? Alex Joshua. Basically, my Joshua.
All right, and for the rest of this podcast, guys, this episode, I'm going to be calling him Joshua. So that's why I call him Joshua. People call him Alex. People call him Alex Joshua or Alex Josh, but I'll call him Joshua for this episode. Anyway, so hi Joshua.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay, I think. So what are we talking about today?
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, right? That's interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's all about you, yourself, and I today that you want us to know about?
Besides that, I am an amazing person. I can't think of anything.
Again, nah, that's
I can't think
interesting.
of anything else. Yeah.
Everybody's amazing. I beg, chill.
No, not,
Okay, chill.
not everybody is, but I hate to toot my own horn, but it's what it is.
Wow. Anyway, so yeah, I remember we are talking about life in general, like adulting I talked about with somebody recently. And part of that whole adulting process, we say that life and love is something that's very important. And you recently just castigated me for something, which maybe you want to go into it any further.
Oh yeah, your non-existent love life.
Shut up.
How's that?
First of all, guys, when if you're listening to this young man say my love life is non-existent, it's a thing, but it's not a thing. But the truth is, it's not existent because I've just not had time for it recently.
A busy person must be nice. So
It's not about being busy. It's just about the fact that, life just happens the way it happens and you just don't have time for some things. But like recently, I've not had time to do anything love oriented because of just not the space for it or fear of the unknown, basically. But
when
yeah.
you say recently, do you mean like 2 years recently? Because I mean that's a lot of recently.
Wait. It's 2 years, not recently. It's recently still. It is
Okay.
recently.
Cool. I mean,
How very recent is your own love life that you're castigating me?
we're not talking about me now, are we? Talking about you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's not the topic of the day. Like I said, guys, we don't have a direction for this conversation, but it's going to make sense at the end of the day. Um, 2 years is recent. Please, I beg. That's the truth of the matter. It's recent for me.
Of course it is. Of course.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
I always thought 1 week was recent, 2 weeks recent, a month recent. I mean, 6 months recent, but I would say that's pushing it, but recent. But 2 years, I mean, what do I know again? So
I
your
beg.
boy knows. We learn
Yes.
every day.
Of course, we do learn every day, but 2 years is recent. Now, the truth is, when you think about it, like all this whole love life situations, why is it even important in the first place?
I mean, why is love important to you?
I threw that question at you. Don't throw it back at me.
No, you just said why is love important in general, and I'm asking why it's important to you.
No, maybe you should go first and I'll go afterwards.
I feel like it's my podcast now, so I'm asking you.
Oh my God. It's the
Why is
fact
love
that
important to
someone's
you?
on my podcast and asking a question is just weird. But wait, love is actually very important. Like, the world revolves around like being good.
No, not the world. I mean for you.
Okay,
I don't talk the world now.
why is love important for me? Love is important because it's good to live a life that revolves around love, basically. And what's living without having people to share, the goodness of life with? What's living without having, people around you to, cheer you on your greatest moment, your biggest achievement, or console you when you're going through some tough times? Exactly. So that's why love is important to me. Yeah. And people who are around you, you love them, like your friends, your family, even if it's a life partner, you love them. So yeah, that's why love is important.
That sounds very will I say generic? Like it doesn't sound you specific.
Why?
Okay. So let's say for me, right, love is like different. But love is how I think love should be is how I think it should be. Let me not say different because I mean it could be the same for somebody else. But
Mhm.
personally, I think for me, love is when you truly care about somebody without um needing anything in return or needing that love to be reciprocated, basically. So I love people because I love people. Like I can't explain why I love somebody. It's something they must have done, and for lack of a better word, something I see in them, right? So why I need to be loved or why I want love, I think would be because I want to feel, you know, feel a certain, I don't know, this the feeling that comes with being loved, like somebody cares about you. It's good having that feeling, like always having a go-to person for me because I know this sounds cliche, but when people say something about when something happens, there's that one person you always want to tell stuff. It's never a complete thing in quote, unless I have told this certain person. I feel like those are like the perks of being loved and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you're correct. Like, you're very correct. And that's almost the same thing that I said. I said like those nice times, like you have like a fun, amazing day. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go tell him. Like that's the way that's what I mean. And when I
Stop
say,
stealing my answer. Please stop stealing my answers. Just sounded very generic. Thank you.
oh my
I guess.
God. Oh my God, it's hilarious. But that's what as guys, if you listen to what I said earlier and listen to what Joshua said, is there any difference? It's almost the same thing, but he's like, he never trusts me. He just feels like I shy away from things that I just, I'm very generic with everything, but that's not true. Take your time and
Right,
get to figure it. Anyway,
right.
I'm serious. But like aside from the whole loving, as in like I think the biggest one for me is the process of getting there, of loving. Like, when you meet someone and you're going through that process of getting to know them, it's just the scariest of things ever. Like we just talked about how that one person you want to come back to and you want to be able to share stuff with, spend time with, like give all your everything with, like your emotions, blah blah blah. How do you even get there in the first place? Like how do you get to that point, Joshua? How do you get there?
Where I love somebody or where somebody loves me.
Yeah, both of them.
Vibes, man. It's just vibes.
Oh God, you know how much I hate that word.
I know. I feel like that's a trigger for you now, and I'm going to be using it often.
Oh God, I hate that word so much. Like we're having a conversation yesterday. Well, when you listen to this like a couple of days ago, or maybe months ago, on Clubhouse, and someone just kept saying vibes over and over again, and I was pissed. I was like, I hate that word. Nobody should say it. Vibes is emptiness, like literally. But go ahead.
So, how do I get there? Obviously, it starts off as a friendship, and friendship you tend to nurture, right? And it just grows, like it becomes a lot more. So me, I'm a very conversation-based kind of person. I like to converse and understand people's thoughts, right? Before I get physical. If I cannot like hold a decent conversation, like if we can't converse on a certain wavelength, yeah, that's the right one. If we can't converse on a certain wavelength, I cannot make that connection with that extra connection. Like it would just be highs and hellos. But if we start to converse and then we have like things, similar interests, not necessarily similar interests as regards everything, but they are key values because I feel like everybody places values on different things. So
Yeah.
if the things I place value on are kind of aligned with the stuff you place values on, and then I feel like there is this, for lack of a better word, click. When we converse, it's really good vibes. We have this synergy, I think. Yeah. Where I can bounce stuff off you and you can bounce stuff off me. And it's just great conversations and a decent relationship. That kind of goes into love, basically. Not necessarily being in love with somebody, because I feel like those are two different things. But love, yes. That's basically how it gets there, how I get there.
I get there through conversations, get there through vibing. Ugh, I hate that word. Anyway, well, I think those are very, very, very cogent points that you just brought up there. Like, especially the conversation part, it's like really big for me too. Like, I don't think I would go too far with anyone without like having a great conversation. Like, if we start talking and the conversation dies after like 2 sentences. That's the end of it. Like
Oh,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm like I don't even stress it. Like I say something, I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm always good with starting conversations. Like I know how to go about that, and I get like some sluggish answers. Or I get some one-liners or some weird responses. I'm like, okay, bye, peace, have a good day. Like there's no point.
I like how you big yourself up. I'm good at conversations as well. Okay.
What do you mean?
No,
Hey,
no, I just like how you big yourself up in the whole of that conversation. Oh, I'm really good at conversations.
but hey, tell me, Joshua, am I not good at it?
To each his own. No, what do I know?
Okay, guys, let me give you a quick background of myself and Joshua. We met recently, and we've been talking for a while. I'll call him a very good friend right now because he's amazing. He has his good perks, and he has the times when he annoys me too. Sometimes, but not really a lot of times. Because for being troublesome, exactly.
Joshua in the mud.
So basically, like I remember the first day we started talking. I don't know if you remember. We started talking, and I think I asked a question, and you were like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "No, I'm just trying to keep a conversation going." So it's like that's what I mean by like great conversation. But it was pretty nice conversations, and like I love such conversations and things. That's where I always wanted to start. If it starts from a great conversation, we get talking, and one person catches feelings or feels like, "Oh, he's cute" or "She's cute." I'm gonna let her know. And when you do that, I'm like, and I feel you or you feel me, we talk. And one thing about me is I would never hide. Well, that's not true. I could sometimes, but when
Thank you.
when
No
it's
comment.
okay, see guys, it's hard sometimes to be upfront with the guy and tell them the way you feel or the way you begin to like someone and you're like, I'm thinking and begin to feel some type of way, but they get scared because people don't know how to take that conversation, and I don't want to hear things like, oh, thank you very much, or I've heard that before, or because these are things I've heard in my life and I don't want to hear it again.
Wait, you
So
had somebody tell you I've heard that before?
yeah, I told someone that, hey, I like you, and the person was like, oh, thank you for your courage. I've heard that before. You're not the first, you're not the second girl, but thank you. And guess I and this
Yo,
person we
what the
still
hell?
eventually I swear down, we still dated, but we didn't last. Like we didn't go too long, but we still dated, and it's like so weird. As in, when I think about it, I was like, I'm like, oh, you suffer, child.
No, that is hella funny. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. That's why I don't really do that anymore or try to tell people that anymore. I think I still did some time ago, but I try not to do it anymore. But it's hard. That's one thing about me. When I like someone, I'll tell them. But I think I've kind of stopped. I don't think I do it anymore because when I remember a few things, I'm thinking about something, I'm like, yeah, I didn't say it because I didn't catch person. But yeah, I don't because it's just hard. It's hard. But yeah.
I can't relate. I'm very open with stuff like that because
How quick do you say it?
how quick do I say it?
Mm-hmm.
So before I say anything, I like to be sure. Like, there's I feel like if you're talking to somebody for the first time or like first few weeks or first few months, there is this thing called like a honeymoon phase where everything feels really, really good.
Yeah.
And then you might mistake, or not you, I mean, someone might mistake all of that for feelings and then emotional love and stuff. So if I am, until I'm sure that it's not just vibes and whatever that is,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anything to anybody. But once I'm sure it's what it is, I'll tell you because I hate to have that hanging off my head like, oh, so I liked you, but I did not tell you. And then I'm overthinking stuff because to a certain extent, I have an overly active imagination. It's like, I did not tell you, maybe if I had told you this would have happened, maybe if I had told you this would have happened. I hate to play out. I like to have the things I can what's it called, put out there, and then let me manage the things I can manage. So I leave headspace for actual good stuff.
That's actually real true. But like when I think about it, sometimes I'm just like, to what? Sometimes, like for me right now, I just always weigh things. Like I look at someone, and most times for me, I ask questions without them even knowing I'm trying to, get information. Like I could talk to somebody now, and I'm feeling some type of way, and I'll just go, so yeah, do you think you want to settle down at any point? And the person goes, no, I'm not in my plan for the next 2, 3 years, 4 years. I'm like, all right, thank you.
What is wrong with you, though? Legit, what exactly is wrong with you? How do you get there? Like, imagine I'm talking to you, right? 2 weeks into a
Yeah.
conversation or a month into a conversation, and I ask you, do you think you want to settle down? I swear, even if you liked me, I feel like you'd be scared still. Like, okay, where did that come from? Because that doesn't even sound like, oh, yo, I
No,
like
no,
you.
no, listen, like,
Do
no, it's not
you
like
think? I
it's not
mean, I swear, it just sounds like let's get.
direct.
You know, it sounds like let's get married. That's what it sounds like.
I know, I get no. So there's not like, okay, let me put this straight, guys. Before you come and shoot me in the comments and say, "Now, wow, you're too desperate." That's not what I mean. I mean, like, you try to get these words from people, or try to get, how do I put it now? The way they feel about a few things to be able to situate where you are at with them. So imagine you're liking somebody, but both of you have not expressed anything or not said anything, but have just enjoyed each other's company of conversations. Yeah. Um, I'm always very scared to get too comfortable. So I would want to find out a few things to see if it's easy, if I need to continue on this part or I'm wasting my time. And that's why I mentioned the whole, do you see yourself settling down? I just want to know what their thought processes are and see how it aligns with mine. So it's not going to be like a direct question of, hey, you, what do you want? Do you want to get married tomorrow? No, I'm going to be very systematic about the questioning. And it's going to be the day when maybe a day when we're both like asking each other random questions, and I'll just throw it in there. And of course, person will be, and those times that person is always very, very sincere with their answers. They're not saying it because, oh my God, maybe she actually likes me and she wants to hear what I need to say. No, this point, you guys are just banting and you're just having a conversation, and it will come out the way they actually feel at that point in time. Do you understand? So
For your
if at
sake,
any,
I hope that's true.
what do you say?
For your sake, I hope that's actually true, and people don't just what's it called? Because I feel like people are smart, and then you can twist, not everybody, but if you can to a certain degree tell when someone else is like slowly getting to like them. So
Yeah.
if you're to ask that question, I feel like some people would just I see what you're doing here, but let's both play stupid.
I don't know, but that's what I'm just saying, that's what I do. Of course, I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not. My friend will always tell me that I should never ever make assumptions. You ask questions, but for me, I just feel like it's hard to ask questions sometimes to some people without making them feel weird. So I'd rather not go directly with the questions than just let it be like a regular conversation when it comes out, and I just figure out those things, and that's basically it. But the truth is, if I actually like someone and they present themselves to be open to hearing it, I'm actually mentioning it to them. But the truth is,
Mm.
whenever I do, it just never ends. I don't think I've ever told someone I like them and it has worked and everything has been perfect. No, it never does. Like, and that's why I just feel like, you know what? It's high time to take a step back and let people to do that. Let people tell you
I have
shit.
to ask you a question, right?
Go ahead.
The ones where they have told you they liked you first, is
Yeah.
is any one of them still going on now?
Thank you. Thank you for yabbing my life. I appreciate the
No, no,
yab.
I'm just saying because it's the same thing now. So what are we saying? Let's not blame it on you telling them first or
That's
whatnot.
actually no. You have a point there, though. No, it hasn't. Like, no, it hasn't.
See,
But
I know I have a point. I know I have a point. Okay, but back to the topic, right? Let me
yeah,
ask you, how are you coping, seeing as your love life is non-existent? Potato, potato.
I know,
So
right?
how
Okay,
how have you been coping with all of that?
that's a very good question. How have I coped? I've actually not coped. I've just gone through the ringer, and well, the truth is, first thing first, I bury myself in all that I do. That I don't have time to well in being lonely. Of course, I get very lonely at times, and when I talk to my friend, she's like, get a man, you'll figure yourself out, or go get someone for you, or that kind of thing. But the truth is, what I do mostly is either spare myself for work, talk with friends, cry it out when it feels too much, and write when it feels too much. Basically, like, I literally haven't, if I say I've coped, I'm lying. I have not coped at all.
Oh
I've
wait,
just,
wait, wait. So I have to ask, do you actually have like friends that you love? I'm not saying people you're in love with now, just
mhm.
friends you genuinely love.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have
And
people
you have
like,
me. So yeah, you're lucky.
But you yourself, tell me, you've just grilled me in questions for the past how many minutes? How you are you single or you're in a relationship? For the listeners.
I am single in relationship with work, Sha, but I'm single as regards having like a partner and stuff.
You're single. So why are you not in a relationship? What are you waiting for to be in a relationship?
Because I feel like relationships are a ton of hassle. And I
Yeah.
hate to say sound like a sad person, but sometimes I get really I don't want to use the word nonchalant, but for lack of a better word, nonchalant as regards people, where I just space out and then I'm not really in the mood for anything. And then not everybody understands that part of me. So it's like, you're not because I've had this happen to me before where the person thought, oh, so are you not talking to me? Are you seeing somebody else? Yada, 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 all of that stuff. And in the end, I didn't know how to explain to the person that it's not you. I'm just not in the mood to do anything or to converse really. So that part gets annoying, and then I do not want to put anybody's thought through that hassle. So I guess when I fix myself in quotes, then I can start to think about having relationships.
So is this something that you feel like would change soon, or is something that is for a while, or something you're walking through? It's nice that you actually realize that that's a problem that you need to work on. That's really good.
To be honest, I don't feel like anything has changed, but I guess people say when you realize there is a problem, that's the first step. So I guess something will change eventually. Something will give.
That's good. Number
That's an important one. That so many people don't realize when they have an issue or when they're some type of way, and they always make people have to go through that whole process with them. And then that's where all the breakups happen. And you're like, well, you knew the way I was when you came to relationship now. Why are you not trying to squeeze me into a different person? Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's good that you realized that. The other question that I will have is, so how long has it been since you've been single?
Single. Cause I mean, I feel like people, you know what they call a situationship, right? So for
Yeah.
the sake of this conversation, that counts as a relationship for me. So I have been single for like September till now is how many months?
4, 5.
Yeah, 5 months basically. I've been single for 5 months.
Oh, that's not a long time. That's good.
I know that's recent, but like somebody's 2 years is recent as well. What do I know?
No, not shame me, Lo. You not be shamed. You shall not be a shamed person. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, 5 months now. Yeah, 5 months.
Oh yeah, you've been
Recent.
single for 5 months. So are you part of those people that take hiatus for like a long time, or you're like, more whatever works, or she's a new person on the block, you're going, or you take a while to get
What
back
do you
on?
mean? Am I like you?
What
I
do
don't
you
think I'm like you.
mean? What do you mean? Are you like me?
I would not be chilling. I would not be chilling for 2 years. So in the end, I feel like because I'm a very conversation-based person, I like to talk and understand people before I do anything to anybody because I don't want a case where I'm starting something and then you're giving me like a different vibe and this wasn't what we discussed. So I did not know this about you to a certain degree. I know you can't really know somebody, but I'd like to know like basic stuff. So I know like I can assume trajectory of where this is going or what your response would be to a certain thing, that kind of stuff. But I don't think I'll take too long. I mean, if I find it's hard to find people now because I mean I don't really like going out. So I don't think I'm out there in quotes. So
now I'm going to steal that excuse for myself as well. My 2 years is not because that I've decided to just be single. There's been a panoramic, there's been a pandemic. We've been indoor.
What happened to the year before the pandemic?
Excuse you. I was
trying to settle down
in a different country.
Of course. Let's blame it on settling down.
Yeah. Anyway, because you see relationships as a lot of work.
Currently, in this mental state, yes, it's a lot of work. Because you want somebody like I don't think commitments are as easy as people make them out to be. I mean, there's one thing to like somebody, right? And there's another thing to like make the conscious effort to be in that person's life, like be there for that person. Because I mean, sometimes it comes easy because on some days it comes easy, on some days it doesn't. So it's the days where it doesn't come easy that is the real commitment. And then I don't know if I have that mental strength for that commitment right now. So yeah, it's hard.
That's good. What's your non-negotiables?
That's an actual exam question. I don't know how to answer that.
I remember one day I was just at home, just getting work done, and my friend calls me. I said like, "Hey, what's your non-negotiables?" I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like that thing it's a make or break for you to get into a relationship with somebody.
So there are a ton of petty things I can think of right now, but I would not say anything petty because I mean that would be a lot. Say for starters, you must know how to like hold a conversation.
Yeah,
that's important, and you should be. I'm not saying genius level smart, but relatively smart. So
okay,
you should like get some certain reference, because I mean we're talking now and I make reference to something I would feel is basic. If I have to explain a ton of the things that I make reference to, it'll get tiring. It's like trying to explain, imagine a comedian trying to explain a joke to somebody every time he makes a joke.
Well,
that would get boring for everybody. So,
but yeah, that's pretty interesting though. So you're really big on conversations. So that's interesting. That's good. Not a lot of people are big on that. A lot of people are big on other things. People are big on physical things and well,
because for me, I feel like when there is bad blood, because I feel like conversations for me lead into friendships, and then when there's a good friendship, on the days where there is no love, I guess there's friendship.
Yeah,
right.
that's so true.
Yeah, so that's why conversations are a thing for me.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very important actually, and that's something that a lot of relationships don't have these days. Like that part where like they're friends, and even when they don't feel the lovey-dovey belly butterfly in my belly, they still have that friendship going for them, which is very important. But yeah, do you think love and everything about loving is easier said than done?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. But yes, it's easier said than, like, it's easier said, right? But then again, I feel like love is a verb, so it's done, not necessarily said. Like, because my love language is not words of affirmation, for starters. Like, that's not my top three. So I feel like I'd rather show you than tell you. So for me, love is not easier said than done. It's more on the doing than saying for me.
That's interesting. People are very quick to say the L word, and throw the I love you word out pretty quick. But when it comes to the action part of it, they kind of misfire. And that's what
For
I've come
me,
to realize. Say it again.
for me, I can count the amount of people I've told I love you. Like
Huh?
genuine, not bands where it's oh my god, I love you, you're amazing. Not that kind of bands, but actually told people I love you. I can count them on one hand, if I'm being honest.
That's interesting. That's very interesting to hear. Because I know it's not everybody that can actually, be very open to say that. They don't say it often. Some people are very quick to just throw the word out there, boom, and you're like, do you know what you're saying? I remember when I was much younger and I hear from people, I'm like, wait, what? Is that how it happens? Anyway, that's cool.
And as in, because what the hell?
It's like, what the hell? Anyway, it's been a couple of minutes now. Like we've gone at this for long, and I don't think I want to hear you drag me down the mud about a love life that is going to happen, and I'm going to shame
I,
all
li-
my
I,
shamers.
I like how I say it. Your love life is non-existent.
It's not non-existent. People, please come to my aid. My love life is not non-existent. It's just not there right now, and that's it. I feel like I'm a cold person. I'm a very nice, warm human that gives shares kindness to people. That's very
Right, right,
personable.
right,
Holds
right. Of
amazing
course.
conversations, by the way.
Right, of course.
Beautiful. I'm
Of
choosing my own
course.
horn. I'm so sorry, guys.
I mean,
So
go on.
if you know
If you don't, who will?
anybody, any eligible bachelor anywhere that seems, that can handle my tiny crazy, go ahead. You know, my
What's your
email.
kind of crazy?
What'd you say?
Probably, what is your kind of crazy?
I'm very, 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 very clingy. That's my little crazy.
Okay, I see.
That's the only thing. I'm one person that when I'm getting to know somebody, or I'm getting like me and somebody I can't believe I almost use that word. Me and someone are getting to know each other so much, and we're kind of getting very close. I will get almost, I think I mentioned this to you a couple of days ago. I think I get almost very it out. I'm like, when the conversation kind of dwindles, I get very like shaky and like, oh my God. It's like, I know some people say it's PTSD, but I don't think it is. I get very jittery when the whole conversation starts dwindling out. It's not the same way, no more text the same way, no more calls the same way. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Why? I get like that. So that's when I mean my little crazy. But the thing is, most times I never mention it. I never say anything about it. But I get like that with myself. So that's my tiny little crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, it's cute, yeah. Or it can be cute. It's just when it'll be somehow if it's, if it gets to stalker level tendencies, but
No, see, how does that? I don't think that ever will get that. No, it has never. For me personally, I don't know about any other person. No, for me personally, I've never
we
got
don't know
into.
that, do we?
That's never got into that. The thing is, most times, is it that if the person is very, very dear to me or close to me, I would mention it to them, tell them that so thing I don't think I enjoy what's going on. I will ask. But if that person is not that close to me, or I just know you have not known them for a little while, I don't mention it. I would not say anything, and I'll just leave it there and just follow them the way they are, doing things, and that's just it. I wouldn't bother. But yeah, that's basically it on that angle of things. I repeat, my love life is not existent. It's not non-existent. It's existent, but just not going on now right now. But I will share my shamas
Non-existent,
soon.
basically.
Go away. It's not non-existent. Anyway, Mr. Joshua, do you have any other thing to say to my beautiful listeners and my handsome listeners right now? To wrap up this episode before you come for me more. And don't say anything. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Oh my God. Sure. I mean, what I have to say? This was fun, basically. Yeah, we should do this again.
We should do this again. I guess I'm going to have a segment, not segment per se, a part of this podcast or a playlist of this podcast where I just have Joshua on and we just gist and talk about random stuff. This was cool for me too. I think I liked it, but I don't like the questioning parts. That's not my, my strong point. But anyway, thanks for joining us, Joshua, today.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it so much, don't forget to share. Let your friends know. Let your sister, brothers, uncle, mothers, fathers know about it. It can help anybody. This can help anybody at all. So go ahead and share it. If you also have a question, comments, things you'd like me to do more, or anything you'd like me to hear, go ahead and leave me an email. Check the description and you will find my email there, and I would love to hear back from you guys. Thank you so much once again, and until next time, keep living, keep loving, and ensure that you're living your truth. And until the next podcast, have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.